Hi there. They call me the governor, and welcome to Walking Dead Weekly Fan Panel, where we'll be discussing the last episode. And we're going to go around. We have some people have been here for a while, and we have a new face. I'm going to introduce a new face. We have Mama Deadhead. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mama Deadhead.
Hey, I'm a reactor, and you can find me pretty much any platform at Mama Deadhead. I adore mostly Morgan and Princess. This was my price of admission into the fan club tattoo for both of those characters, and big comic nerd.
Well, I gotta say, I do like comic nerds. You know, I did keep Milton around for a while. And of course, we have Michonne. Michonne, tell us about yourself.
I am Michonne. I am a fellow reactor of The Walking Dead on YouTube, and I love all things Walking Dead. I'm just another member of the community.
Every time I see your name, I think, is that Michonne? So, you know, if there's occasional hostility vibes, it's not you. It's her. All right, you know. And then we have Jazz. Jazz, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jazz. I work for Wizard World as one of the social media people here, and my love for The Walking Dead runs deep. So that's why I'm here.
All right, and of course, I am the governor and the supreme ruler of Woodbury, which I burned down. So now I'm in a new Woodbury, which I'm taking over slowly, and basically I run a show called The Governor Reacts, where I react to The Walking Dead. Now, some of people's favorite characters aren't my favorite characters, you know, and some people, you know, and some are. I actually like Carol. Daryl, not so much. But, yeah, I have a unique viewpoint on The Walking Dead. So, Oscuro 4 says hello to Mama and Michonne and Sonia Raina says, love you, Mama.
My two besties.
So, all right. So you brought your fans along. Awesome. So we had, I would say, a little bit more interesting of an episode than the last two. This past one with good old Father Gabriel and Aaron on their little mission. What was your guys' initial impression as you were watching the episode? We'll get to Maze. We have a lot to say about Maze, but Jazz, what was your thought as you were watching them on this quest for supplies? And
so at first I thought, well, this is kind of an odd little pairing. As it went on, I was like, you know what? I really love this because you can kind of just saw them kick back and relax and get drunk and play poker. You know, it was great.
Mama Deadhead, what was your initial thoughts watching this episode?
This was one of the episodes of the bonus 6 that I was really excited for because I started off hating Father Gabriel, but I've really come around on him, and I just think Aaron is so underrated, and to see these two team up, I was just so excited to just be watching. Even just the first little bits, every single bit of it just had the walkers were in such crazy compromising positions through the whole thing, and I was just eating all of it up like the entire time.
Aaron also has a hell of a Han Solo impression. But Sean, your thoughts on the episode?
So I never look at the previews every week when they show what the next week's episode is going to be. So when I saw Aaron and Father Gabriel, I was like, of course, Father Gabriel, my all-time least favorite character, is on this episode. Sick. I don't dislike Gabriel anymore. I'm just at the point where it's like, I don't really care about him, but it was still a good episode. My absolute favorite moment was the walkers when they pulled the hands off. The walker was so juicy. I knew the walker was juicy, and oh my God, the walkers give every time. Every time.
Well, actually, in my reaction, I referred to that as Father Gabriel's disarming personality. But yeah, it was, I have to say, I mean, there's a lot of elements that were the same in all the episodes because they had to, you know, do social distancing. They had limited people. But I think some of the humor, like, you know, when Father Gabriel fell in the mud. That was, and, kind of got laughed at by Aaron. And then Aaron's scream, that was great too, when he was, when Father Gabriel lost it. Those were great moments that kind of filled in a little bit, because otherwise it's just a couple guys going from car to car. I don't think there was a lot of humor in the previous 2 episodes.
No.
It was, especially with Maggie. I'm sorry, Maggie is, she's got an attitude right now. I guess it has something to do with that Negan guy. But yeah, fun fact though, Fandom Spotlite, my YouTube channel, the first 2 members of The Walking Dead that were interviewed for the channel were Ross Marquand and Seth Gilliam. And so it was great to see them, the very 2 first interviews on the screen together. But we have a lot to cover with this episode. So we meet Maze, and what was your impression, when he first appeared? Let's go in reverse order. But Sean?
I literally screamed the Terminator. That was the first thing I did. And it was, he was one of those short-lived characters that I feel like made a really big impact. He made he was not even there for that long. And just in a quick second, Father Gabriel made me jump out of my body because I did not see him killing him. Mm-hmm. I did not see it. I literally jumped out of my body and was shaking the rest of the episode. But he's great. He's great. He told such a good story in such a short amount of time about his brother. And then after he got killed, what we found after that, it was he did a lot in a little bit of time.
And have you seen this boy? Okay, no, wait, that's the other movie. Mama Deadhead, your thoughts on Maze?
I'm still just taken back by everything that happened. Just when I thought maybe it was going to go a certain way, Father Gabriel just came in swinging, and then the added bonus of just finding his brother. I'm so conflicted on, even if they would have gave him a chance, what would have happened if he would have been like, oh yeah, by the way, I didn't actually kill my brother.
He's upstairs.
Not just upstairs, but handcuffed upstairs.
And clearly for a long time.
And Jazz, your thoughts on Maze?
Well, when he first appeared, for like a millisecond, I thought it might have been Daryl, because that little grumble that he did, like, oh, that's such a Daryl thing to do. But, when we knew something happened, Aaron, I was like, what did you do? Like, I mean, I knew he wasn't going to be killed necessarily yet, but it's like, I was ready for blood for that. I'm like, you do not mess with Aaron at all. And when he flung out that mace hand, I was ready for blood.
Yeah, I was like, poor Aaron, he's been disarmed. A lot of disarmament happened in this episode. But I have to say, Robert Patrick as an actor, just him coming in and his presence was just like, from that sigh onward, it was like he dominated the scenes. And I mean, obviously he was intimidating Father Gabriel, so he couldn't do too much, but just, casual way, toilet paper, and, just his, overall demeanor. Did you guys think, and anyone can start this off, that someone was going to die, one of our people was going to die this episode?
No.
Honestly, I was worried.
I mean, I was worried, but there wasn't, I was pretty certain that everybody walked out okay, but there was still that, if you hurt anybody, I swear to God, moment that I had.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a little bit different for me, because I always tend to gravitate towards not the main characters, like villains and pretty much anyone that's expendable in the eyes of The Walking Dead. So I'm like, this is it. I just started. Aaron's one of my favorites. He's a goner. We're done. So I always have that. So worried.
When you say Aaron is underrated, I agree with you. I love Aaron. I love him.
He was so down for Alexandria from the jump. Like, everyone from Alexandria was just like, oh, I need a pasta maker. I need this. And he was just like, we need to go out and, you know, take out this herd. Okay, what do I need to do? Like, I'm here. And I just think that's, I mean, considering they faced hardly any threats, to be that down from the jump is just, he's awesome.
Well, remember, he was out on the road recruiting, so he had more exposure to what it was out like there. I remember when Sasha was like, went off on that woman who was like, I was worried you wouldn't like these hors d'oeuvres. And that's what you were fucking worried about?
Yeah.
Sorry. It's just amazing that, you know, that he did have that grounded thing, but he did have a lot of experience out on the road. So
yeah.
And that's what I was going to bring up too, is when he was talking to Gabriel, he was saying that was what felt right to him when he was out there looking for people to bring back to this community.
And another point, he said, I didn't know Aaron believed this. He believes the world is going to go back to normal. I didn't know anybody still believed that after this long. I'm not mad at it, but when Gabriel was like, you think the world gonna go back to normal? I was wow.
I don't think our world now is going to go exactly back to normal after the pandemic.
Literally never.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to go back to exactly the way things were. It might get close. Deborah Alber says it was a great episode, fun and crazy ride. Aaron is one of her faves. Renee I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Says the mention of the water tower had me thinking. Mama,
don't
Dad,
spoil it. Is it in the comics?
Is
it in the comics?
There's a moment in the comics, yeah.
And then, without spoiling, there was also the mud moment that, you know, and water tower. I know that it's not exactly the same time frame, but every time I see it, I'm just like, just don't talk about it. Why are you talking? Why are you going near it, Father Gabriel? Just go away.
All right. So there are you can't really tell about time frames, because actually with the Governor's story on the show, there were elements from Rise of the Governor from before he even, you know, lost an eye, before I lost an eye. So I get confused with myself. So, you know, with the show, they can steal moments from anywhere from the comics. So yeah, a few people were like, oh my God, the water tower. And honestly, I have not read that comic either, so I don't know exactly what's going on, and would probably prefer not to have it spoiled.
That's all Mama Deadhead right there, I think.
What comic is it in? Which one is it in?
How far are you in the comic series?
Girl, I'm literally at like 180 something. Like I'm almost done, and I'm just bullshitting. I need to read the last little bit, and they keep being on my ass about it. Michonne, you need to finish because. So I'm literally at like 180 something. I'm almost done.
Are you at the Whisperer War?
Yeah, I might have passed it already.
Oh, if you've passed the Whisperer War, then you've passed the Water Tower. Yes. Have you moved on to? Have you met Princess?
I think I met Princess. I know for a fact I read the first chapter in Compendium 4, and then I read Here's Negan, and then I think I need to read like the last few. But I'm past the Whisperers already. I know I'm gonna get it together. I need to read this weekend. I'm gonna get it together.
Yeah, this is why you don't do drugs. No, I'm kidding. Please do some. Anyways, moving back, let's talk about that moment where Maze had the change of heart. I mean, that was a tense scene with the going back and forth with that gun. That tension just kept ratcheting higher. But then Maze was like, stopped Aaron from shooting and was convinced, you know, that they were going to help him out. And then Father Gabriel bashes his head in. I hope people watching realize there's going to be major spoilers. What was your reaction? Do you think Father Gabriel was justified in smashing Maze's face in? And we'll start with Jazz. Jazz, what do you think?
So, but before I get to Father Gabriel's bit, I do want to say that that moment where you heard like the sound change in the gun with Aaron, I was just sitting there like, hey, Aaron, like point your head really quick, cock it or whatever, and then shoot Maze. Just get him. I was just like, please, 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 please. But I have to say I loved when see Gabe block him with the mace hands. I thought that was amazing, and because I wasn't expecting it for some reason. Like whatever, it was amazing to me. Like to see him do that, it blew my mind.
So do you think he was right in doing it? Do you think
I think so, yeah, because I mean they've been through a lot, and I can't say that I wouldn't do the same thing after everything that I've been through. If I were in the zombie apocalypse, it's hard to trust anybody, and that guy is a little unhinged, though.
Well, not as unhinged as they thought, though. But Mama Deadhead, what did you think? Were you like good going, Gabriel, or were you like, you son of a?
Well, hindsight, absolutely, I think he was. But in the moment, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say what I said in my reaction, which was just a string of what the multiple times.
F.
Yeah, looking very confused. Like, did that just no conversation? We just really went okay. In the moment, I'm not sure. In the moment, I was like, we're not even gonna have a conversation about it. You're not gonna ask Aaron his opinion because he's a great judge of character. We're just gonna go for it. I'm still very taken back by this whole entire episode, all of it.
Okay, Michonne?
Okay. Do I sound weird?
There's a little bit of echo, it sounds like.
Okay.
I don't know if someone's speakers are close to their mic.
A lot of the times when I'm watching Walking Dead, I can see a jump scare coming. I can feel it. I can see it. I have never been scared like I got scared watching this episode. The tension was so high and I was so pulled in, and literally out of nowhere, here comes Gabriel, hits him. I jumped out of my body and I was just in the state of shock. Like, what is going on? What the fuck? Like, I didn't even know how to feel. And then once they went upstairs and saw that his brother and the family or whatever is just been upstairs, chained up for God knows how many years, I was like, yeah, Gabriel, yeah. I'll let you have that one.
Honestly.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. And then I'll take it.
For some reason, when the initial hit happened, I didn't know that it was Aaron's arm. So for the split second, I was like, who and what just happened? Until Father Gabriel showed his face. And then I was just, what?
Good jump scare.
Definitely.
It shocked me. But I have to say, they basically were very sincere talking to him, saying, we can help you. And then for a priest to turn around and grab that arm and smash this guy in the head. I mean, yes, Maze had some issues, but I don't think he was beyond help. And they were just talking about how helping people felt good. A few comments we have. Skiro said, do you guys have sympathy for Maze? The roulette thing was pretty sadistic. And I do have sympathy for Maze because he was betrayed. He was twisted. But in the end, he didn't let Aaron shoot himself. Renee says he was justified because Maze was a loose cannon. Gabriel saw that. Yes, Maze had issues. I'm not going to say he didn't, but I think they could have helped him. And
I feel like they've accepted people for worse.
And Aaron's reaction was priceless, Deborah said, though he was giving Gabe some major side eye. Yeah, he was. He was like, what
Aaron
the
was
hell
just
are
as
you
shocked
doing?
as we were. Aaron didn't even see it coming. He was like, sir.
And so calmly, Father Gabriel's like, we couldn't take him with us.
Exactly.
He killed his brother. It's like, really? First of all, if he did kill his brother, it was in self-defense. So who has not killed someone in self-defense? And he said, he killed his brother's family. It's like, he never said he killed the family. he said he took care of it, which could have meant the brother. And yeah, I was a little shocked. I think that after seeing Gabriel, I mean, I'm not upset that he killed Dante. Dante deserved it because he took out Sadiq, you know, but he's just turning into this really cold, you know, he's turning into me. And, you know, he can't steal my gig. You know, I'm the one who's supposed to go crazy and kill people, not Gabriel. So now we come upstairs, we meet the brother. And that was quite
Can I
interesting.
say something?
Can we talk about
can we just talk about how sick you gotta be to sit there and smell grown man shit and piss for however long he was chained to that pipe? Can we please talk about that, please? Because as soon as they opened the thing, they was like, and his cot was right there. So like you just breathe that every day and just
all the
look
food
at your
was up
brother.
there.
And he said all his brother did was take his food. Like that's all he had to do for you to lose your entire mind.
Well, no. He said, you know, then he came at me with a knife.
Okay, yep, he did say that part too. I forgot about that part. But that's crazy. So how did his family die that was on the floor?
Didn't you not hear him say, he made me play. He made me play. Maze made his brothers play the same game that he had Father Gabriel and Aaron play.
Oh, yeah.
But if you look at the skeletons, it looked like the child had a bullet in the side of the head. Looked like the wife had one in the front, which means that his brother, you know, may not have aimed the gun at his child, but he did aim and fire into his wife. Because, you know, otherwise it would have been on the side of her. So.
And that would make sense for what happened a few moments later when he pointed at himself and blew his own brains out too. Because he had to live with knowing he did that all this time.
I thought that he had kind of forgot for a split second because like he was talking to them and then he looked at them and just killed himself. I was like, did he forget for a second? Like, I don't like, he didn't have the best mental state.
Well, no, I mean, he's been chained up for quite some time. What were your thoughts, Mama Deadhead?
I called it whenever he grabbed the gun. I was like, I mean, even let's say perfect world, his brother didn't have a hand in killing his own family. At the very least, he's been chained by their decaying corpses for years. I don't know how you rejoin society after something like that. So,
but you'll notice that he's the one that Father Gabriel wanted to help and was unlocking instead of, you know, but whereas Maze, who had a change of heart, who cut the rope off Aaron, which is another thing. They're constantly cutting rope in The Walking Dead. It's like, wouldn't you want to untie it and save that shit? It's valuable. But, you know, he's the one who changed his mind and became reasonable and was probably going to be a better asset than a guy who's been chained up for years. But Gabriel's like, oh, let me unlock him and so he can grab my gun.
I was literally about to say that. And something that makes me so mad about Gabriel is that he's not the most, I don't want to say aware, in tune. It's the word I'm looking for. He don't cross his T's and dot his I's. Why are you standing this close to this man who got a free hand that can literally just pull the gun right out from in front of you? I knew he was about to grab the gun as soon as Gabriel got this close to him. Sir.
Seth talked about that on Talking Dead. He was like, just another person that got something from me and did something bad. It's so hilarious to see Seth stick up for Gabriel. I adore it. It's so hilarious. And him going back and forth with Robert Patrick over like, is Maze good? And of course, Robert's like, you know, yeah, I did totally think he could have had a change of heart. I can't believe what Father Gabriel did. Like, he's just the worst. What kind of priest would do such a? It was hilarious. That was Talking that you do not want to miss.
Dan's review says, hey guys, I love you all. Thanks, Dan. That's awesome. And Renee says, Maze shot his family and allowed his brother to watch them die in their opinion. So it's like, I don't think so. I think it was the game that actually took him out. So I think that's. I think it was messed up that Maze did that, but it's kind of in Maze's mind that was justice. You know.
Look, not you being a hypocrite. You had all of your walker heads in a fish tank. That was your den.
Well, that was so that I could get used to the dead. And, you know, I was not horrified by the Bitas anymore because I had all the Bitas heads there and I watched them. And besides, do you know how expensive cable is in Woodbury? I needed to watch something. Jeez. But yeah, as far as how the brother pissed and crapped and, you know, all that stuff, that is a very good question. And sometimes they kind of skip over those kinds of things in the show. You know, how do people survive and eat? How do people actually go to the bathroom? How did last episode Leah actually tie up Daryl when she was carrying a gun? You know, they skip over that stuff and we give them some slack, but yeah, it was pretty what happened to Maze and his brother was all pretty shitty. And I mean that in somewhat of a literal sense for the brother. All right. So when they got out of there, and I know there's something about the water tower, but why do you think Aaron is like not saying, let's go the hell home? I don't want to deal with you anymore. Because it seemed to me that he was not pleased with Father Gabriel. It seemed like he wanted to redeem Maze. He wanted to bring him with him. Why do you think he, at the last moment, said, oh, okay, one more. You know, we'll do this one more. Yeah,
Aaron did say that he wanted to find more people. But it's like at first, in the beginning of the episode, he wanted to go home. He said, I'm tired. I miss my daughter. I'm sick of this shit. I'm ready to go home. We've been out here for weeks. We ain't found nothing. And Gabriel was like, obviously not having it. He wanted to go to that place. And then I guess the Maze thing made him have a change of heart, or I don't know, because he said he wanted to look for more people. This is what we need. And I'm like, I don't know.
Find more people and what? Have them die?
You can't even feed the people you have. I don't know.
Yeah, in my reaction, I had to say these guys suck at helping people. So totally true. I don't know. I almost thought Aaron didn't want to piss off Father Gabriel because it's like he's unstable and now he has a rifle. But yeah, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. Whatever you say, Crazy Gabe. Mama, what do you think?
You know, I think maybe everything that happened with him was just so negative that he was kind of projecting back onto his family at Alexandria. Like, I don't want, you know, Maze and his brother to be like my people. Like, this was all happened over food. And what do they need right now? Food. Mm-hmm. So maybe he thinks we need to just go out this last time, this last place, and just make the best of it. We're already out. We don't need to be doing all this again, come out this far again. And I don't know, maybe he's just really trying to make the best of a really awful, you know, situation that they're in now.
Jazz, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I agree to that point. I was like, well, you know, so part of me, when Aaron found the boar, was like, okay, why didn't you take that back? Because obviously everybody's probably hungry, right? So, but they're sitting there eating it all night long. But
in their defense, if it took them 2 weeks to get out that far,
yeah, true.
You know, by the time they got the boar
wouldn't
back,
have lasted that long. But I don't know. I really don't know. I guess it's just, you know, oh look, the water tower. And, you know, it's kind of like a teaser of what might come for those who know what's coming. I don't know. So
don't say that.
Right. See, I gotta go finish the comics. I got to.
I gotta get there too. So, you know, I'm with you.
You haven't got to my favorite part yet. Like this whole shelf, bottom shelf right here is all Princess and Mercer. You got to get there.
I definitely have not met Mercer yet. That's the right.
Hold on.
This is so funny. Yes.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
not
yeah.
met him. Have not met him yet.
Oh, okay.
What is he, an Imperial Guard in
Yeah, is he a
friggin' Star
Stormtrooper?
Wars?
Mhm.
So Bubba Jinx says, "Hey, Mama Deadhead. Hey, Sean. Hey, Governor Cousin." I don't know why they don't say "Hey, Jazz." Maybe it's because jazz is not their favorite music. I don't know.
Probably, you know. It's all good.
But or they might just recognize us from the reaction
I'm
videos.
thinking that's what it is. Yeah.
I think you need to start doing reaction videos, Jazz. So
maybe I will.
Yeah, that would we'll get you on the Skybound compilation. Get you on the thumbnail. Who the last thumbnail? Who did we have there? Katie and Mashan.
Still wishing we would have Katie on here. That would be great, but she's on the other side of the world.
Yeah. I don't know. I invited her, and she's like, "I'd love to, but right now it's like what 2-3 o'clock in the morning her time." So
I really want to see more of the cast reacting to the compilations. I need Norman to react to the 1018. Need, and Melissa, I need.
Yeah, it would be really nice to get some of the other actors. I know that JDM, one of my comments about him was when he was like telling Beta, he's like, well, he doesn't exactly look like you, Chatty McBat face. And then and he thought that was like the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. So we have to I'd love to see another one of those compilations where the cast reacts to the actual reactors. All right. Now, I know, Abadetta, you wanted to talk about what's coming up. but some people here didn't see what's coming up, didn't watch the preview.
Well, I actually haven't watched the previews either.
But Princess is actually going to be... What I do know is it's going to be the Stormtroopers and Princess. And
so we're going back to them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem an interesting group. I don't read the comics. I heard what happened to me in the comics, and I don't want any of that. So horrible things happen to my comic self, and yep, I am ignoring that reality.
Mercy. You got it good in the comics. Woo! I remember that.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Thanks.
That was the most traumatizing section of the comics, is the governor. Oh my God.
Oh my, yes, absolutely.
That man was the devil.
So awful.
So a little bit back to this. What do you think the future? I mean, do you think Father Gabriel's on a dark path? Or do you think he's just wised up? I mean, yeah, I remember him as the wuss of a priest who listened to his congregation screaming while he hid inside. I remember him as the idiot who tried to get Deanna to kick Rick and the others out of Alexandria. I remember all that, and then eventually he, started to find his nards, I guess, and started actually getting out there and fighting. And I remember when he couldn't even kill a Waka or kill a Bida.
Carl taught him how to hold a knife. He didn't even know how to hold a knife.
Now, was that the time where you started getting together with Rosita? Because that might have something to do with it. Because she's a little badass too.
Well, I'm sure she's helped him. She probably helped Eugene because he's a little more badass-ish now. Not in the same way as Gabriel.
Rosita's just out here having a class for all the men.
Right.
Like, here's how you work a weapon, guys.
And for my star students, I'll sleep with you, but not you, Eugene.
Oh, don't do Rosita. That's my girl.
Well, it was funny when Aaron was like, what do you think God thinks of you, Father Gabriel? Gambling and drinking like this. And I'm thinking, and, banging Rosita. And they're not married. So, so that's a bit much.
I mean, there might be a point that I'm not really sure what point that was in the show, but in this episode, there might have been a moment that might bring him back into the preaching aspect, because he said he didn't like doing that anymore. And I feel like something might happen between Maze or his brother that might get him to start doing the preaching thing again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He seemed pretty bitter, and I would think he would be very discouraged because he was wanted to help Maze's brother.
Yeah.
And then that failed spectacularly. That was just,
Well, I mean, not right away, but eventually, like a slow burn type of deal.
Yeah, it's funny how he professed to have such faith, but, and said how people could be good, and then just smashed Maze in the face with Aaron's arm.
I think Gabriel has done a lot of growing, because in the beginning, Gabriel was absolutely positively useless and would do things that were not helping the cause at all. And now he's all for the cause. And I think that's why he stopped preaching, because we're not even at a place where we can sit down and go to church every Sunday. We're trying to recover from a war. So it's like, he's like, it would not make sense. So I don't know. I feel like Gabriel is very much is for whatever makes sense right now.
But why is he still?
I don't think he's going to go crazy. I don't know. That's just his outfit. That might be his reminder. And if you notice, people ask him that often throughout the show, why does he still wear it? And he got a different answer every time.
True.
Freaks the hell out of Negan, too.
Exactly. He did look weird. He was just quiet and he just popped up, just standing behind him like, hi, I'm Gabriel.
You freak me the hell out. So Zero4 says, hi, Jazz. So you got a hi. Phyllis 2284 says, Father Gabriel has come a long way. He certainly has. Deborah says, that was one of the best surprises from Skybound. I love that cast reaction to the reactors. That was a lot of fun watching that. And then I think some people actually did reacting to the cast, reacting to that. That was way too meta for me. I didn't have. Oscuro4 is very excited for Princess. So yes, it is going to be neat seeing that come through.
I don't know what's going to happen to them.
I'm so excited.
They're very tactical. All they did was show up looking for somebody, and they just came in like the fucking military. So I don't know. I'm scared.
Oh yeah, they definitely have some training and all that. So I'm not familiar with the Commonwealth storyline, but I have a feeling they're not gonna kill the group. I think that they are going to interrogate them and basically then perhaps form a partnership, and hopefully they won't be like CRM, which just goes around and befriends people and then wipes them out, because they're the future, not anyone else.
I still don't understand what was the purpose of the CRM murdering an entire thriving community. For what? What are you doing all of this research for to keep humanity alive if you're just going to murder an entire thriving community? Like, those people literally could have lived forever there. They could have lived there forever if nobody was to come along and murder them. And I said, like, we're so far into the apocalypse, walkers are not even a problem at this point. It's always the people. You get the odd herd every now and then, but it's really the people. And even then, with a herd, you can deal with a herd, but the people are the problem.
I don't know. One thing with the world beyond is it seems one Beta shows up and they friggin' panic. It's like...
I mean, it goes back to what Aaron said about the whiskey. It's like, over $2,000 for whiskey. I think people that would pay that much to get drunk is part of the problem with the world before. So...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what's Negan, who is not my favorite person in the world, because he tried to steal my title as the best villain. He's got one thing correct: is people are resources. Mm-hmm. So if you can, bring them into your community, you don't necessarily have to kill them unless they're National Guardsmen, because they all suck. But if you can bring people in, like I bought in Tyrese and Sasha, into my community, I would bring in more people. I brought in Andrea. If Michonne hadn't been, such
Snooping.
a bee. Yeah, if she hadn't been, I don't know, had a, possessive thing on Andrea and been all like suspicious, she could have stayed in our community. She would have been a good addition. She might have been one of our good warriors, but but I can see when there's two communities right next to each other that they're fighting over the same resources. So I can see where that conflict would happen in the prison. But, with CRM, they're far enough away. They need a helicopter.
Exactly.
They're not fighting over the same stuff. So let these people be. And then when you create this future world, maybe incorporate them. Maybe see if you can bring them in.
The CRM is so far away and so high tech, those people never would have known y'all even existed if you never showed up. So, I mean, I don't know. And even Alpha believed that to a certain extent. She had her whisperer people.
She had her territory, very territorial.
So she even believed she didn't necessarily believe that we were like alive people that should have feelings, but she knew that they were valuable.
I'm curious to know if, well, Commonwealth is one of my favorite arcs in the comics, and I won't spoil anything, but with the size of Commonwealth and the size that we learn about of CRM, I'm curious to know, CRM would have to know about them, but I'm curious if Commonwealth knows about CRM.
Are the CRM in the comics?
No.
Okay.
No. Commonwealth and the comics is a very, very, very final arc. Every single bit of it is extremely, finale worthy. And even with the characters, like there's like two characters that can carry on the same arc of like 20 in the comics to the show. So it could really be totally different, but I don't really see the structure of Commonwealth being that different. I think that like how they run things is probably going to stay pretty similar, which is just wild in itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So Phyllis asks if we think that Maze could have been trusted as a member of the group if they had brought him in instead of, decorating the floor with his brains.
He would have needed some rehabilitation as a human.
But yeah, he was he could have been a resource. As far as the CRM people, yeah, I'm curious to see where that's going to go, and we'll probably find out in the Rick movies a lot more about them. Mm-hmm. Commonwealth being that big, someone had to have reported seeing a helicopter. I don't think they could. So they have some idea, but
if little old Rick in the middle of Atlanta could see a helicopter, I know they know where it's at.
Yeah, they had to have figured out something. So I don't know, with it being so final in the comics, but it definitely not being final in the show, or I guess in the universe as a whole. I don't know. It could be totally different, just absolutely 100% different.
And it could also be that the Commonwealth is too large for them to easily attack. But I still wondered how that university was able to feed themselves, because I didn't see any farmland. And, you have that many people, you need a lot of acres to feed that many people. Renee thinks she knows why I bought in Andrea. You think I wasn't getting some already? Sheesh.
You were getting it from everybody. Literally everybody.
Exactly. So,
the governor was cutting up.
Well,
wait, and going back to Maze real quick, Maze probably would have been a good resource, because how the hell did he get that boar in there?
Yeah, he ran to the boar.
And that was a big boar.
And he knew his way around. There might have been some more supplies that they didn't find when they were leaving. He probably could steer them away. If the water tower is a problem, he could possibly have steered them away from that.
Right. He'd been alive all this time.
He might have actually said, hey, I know where there's a bunch of boars and we can grab them and wrangle them and bring them back to your neck of the woods, and it'll be all good. But I think he would have been a good resource. But again, I think Father Gabriel, though he's being practical, he's getting very dark, and I think something either needs to happen to snap him back into a more humane state of mind, or he's got to be put down before he takes out someone we really like. So
somebody was telling me the other day because I go live after every episode of Walking Dead, they were saying that they feel like Gabriel might die soon. And I'm like, that's an interesting theory.
Well, yeah. I also saw a theory that he is going to take the place of a death that is much later in the comic series. It's like one of the last bigger ones that happens, because it's a very compromising situation of this person wanting to kill someone else that will start a major conflict. And I see Father Gabriel being that stuck in his ways of, well, we just need to end this right now, and not really maybe thinking of the entire situation. I could kind of see that. I don't want it to happen, though.
Gabriel's making Rick look actually thoughtful.
Imagine what would have happened if Alpha would have got killed in the very beginning. Things would have went very differently during the Whisperer War. Things would have been, y'all wouldn't have known about Herd. Y'all wouldn't have known about none of that stuff. So things could have went very differently.
Oh, so, Beta just steamrolled in the comics. He said, Alpha who? I'm the better villain. And just, he caused some massive damage there.
I would still like to know why the hell they don't have bullets. I mean, yes, Eugene sabotaged all of Negan's bullets, but...
And that was years ago now.
Right, but he could have been making bullets all this time. Mm-hmm. And when the Whisperers first showed up, they could have had a bunch of snipers just pang, 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 take out those Whisperers right away, rescue Luke, not have to give up Lydia, put a bullet right between Alpha's eyes. Yeah, we wouldn't know about the Horde, but I still think I did a video talking about ways to take care of the Horde. And, there's a lot more stuff that they could have done to take care of the Horde before it got that close. But what can you do now? The Whisper War's over, and they didn't take my advice because I'm dead.
Right. Quick comic book spoiler to anybody that's going to read the comics, cover up your ears. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I didn't know Alpha got her throat slit in the comics. I did not know that. When I read them, I literally screamed. I did not know that was how she died in the comics at all. At all. I screamed. I didn't even know.
But you didn't know anything about it? Like how it happened, who did it and all that? No?
The only thing I knew about the comics before reading them was Glenn, obviously. How could I miss that? Yeah. And I knew Rick lost a hand. Ezekiel on the pikes because of the Pike episode. And that's honestly it. I didn't know anything about the comics at all. I went in almost blind. I just knew a couple of major things. But other than that, I don't really know anything.
Wow, so the whole governor
that's how I am too.
Really
Girl, I knew nothing. I knew nothing.
Yeah, I might skip those issues when I read. But anyway, just because it might be a little bit too painful. Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like we're running out of time, but final thoughts, and if you'd like to share, where to find you guys online. Let's start with Jazz. Your final thoughts, final words on this episode, and where people can follow you.
This was my favorite episode so far in the extended episodes. I can't wait for next week because, yes, I said what I said. So, yeah, I know why she's saying that, but you can find me here at Wizard World and check out my choir's Facebook page and Instagram on Vancouver Master Chorale.
Awesome. I'm a Deadhead.
You can find me at Mama Deadhead, pretty much every social media. I also write for Coltress and Undead Walking. And you can pretty much find me geeking out about Princess 24/7. When you see me in my next reaction, my hair will be purple. So you're warned. And
mine will not be. Mashawn.
Well, you can find me on youtube.com/Mashawn. All of the good stuff is linked in the description. All of my full uncut reaction videos are on patreon.com/Mashawn Reacts because copyright is real. As we all know.
It is, though. I did a trick my last one, and we'll talk about that once we're offline. But you can find me. I am on the Fandom Spotlite YouTube channel and also fandomspotlight.com. You can see the Governor in the Governor Reacts as I react to Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. I didn't react to The World Beyond because, the Breakfast Club wasn't for me, but that's just, my thoughts. And I'd like to thank you guys for being here. And actually, Renee says thank you all for your time. This was great. I want to thank Wizard Worlds for continuing to put up with us on this this panel. We will see all of you people, hopefully, who've been watching now next week after a great episode with the Commonwealth. And that's pretty much it. Thanks, everybody. Everyone wave goodbye. And Governor and crew out.
This is John Glover, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Lionel Luther recommends it. Have some fun. Follow your fandom.